let's keep moving because it's time for another classic JP and the Beans top 5. Today's top 5 is our top 5 Asgardians. This is going to be a wild and fun list, I'm sure. I'm curious if we have any overlap. I'm guessing some, but I don't think they're going to align in their spots. We'll see if I'm wrong. Beans, without further ado, you go first.
Yeah, for my number 5, and this is because of Thor Ragnarok, the movie, I have Hela at 5th. Now, in the comics, I believe she's actually Loki's daughter, not the sister of Loki and Thor.
Gotcha.
So it's a little bit of a different dynamic.
Sure.
However, when they introduce her into this movie, first of all, they do a great job of establishing her as a legitimate threat to everybody.
Yes.
She goes in and she kills, like, everybody that you at least have some remote familiarity with, that Thor
wipes them right out.
that the movies did try a little to do with, but they're like, you know what, if they kill him, nobody's gonna be super disappointed.
Yep.
So you have that going for you. And this is the Queen of Hell. Legit awesome. Power set with the daggers everywhere. Sick. She has 2 big ass wolves as partners.
Seems like a good move.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's cool.
If you're trying to kill some people, seems like a good move.
Awesome. And the actress who played her, phenomenal. So overall,
yeah, Kate Blanchett killed it. Didn't
she was so good in this role.
Yeah,
I would love to see more of Hela. But she's at 5 for me.
That's great. My number 5 is Heimdall. Here's a little quinky dink that I didn't realize until I was doing my research. Heimdall is the brother of Sif. Huh.
I didn't know that either.
Same.
They are somewhat all loosely related, so that's just Norse gods. Well, that's just gods in general. If you
get appellation, isn't it?
Well, if you get into the real mythology, that's where it gets really weird. So I think Marvel
it's best
took
to divert from that, isn't it?
Marvel took it and fixed it a little bit. I think
both in the real world and in the comics, we're grateful that we're getting a little less weird.
Thank the Lord Almighty.
I just enjoy and am also amused at times by Heimdall's power set, because think of how overwhelming it actually is to be all-seeing, right? And I'm a little curious too as to the mechanics of that. Like, does that mean he's truly omniscient where he's seeing everything all at once? I don't think that can be the case. I think it has to be more of a, where is he looking right now? Like, wherever he wants to look, he can see. Also, imagine just the problems with that ability, right?
Oh, you'd go insane.
Yeah. It's a little bit of sensory overload. Also, how do you put some regulations on Heimdall where it's like, hey, don't look over there, right? Look away, like privacy concerns.
And
I'm just a little worried there.
Relatively stoic guy as well. Yeah. But when he's even talking to Loki, he's like, you know what's weird? I couldn't see you, so I wonder what you were up to over there. Oh, nothing. Yeah. Okay.
But I like the concept. I love that he is, as much as anything else, the gatekeeper, right? I love the idea that there's someone in control regulating who comes in and who goes out of that particular rainbow bridge. That's awesome. Also, like, what a wild concept, a rainbow bridge. It shouldn't work, but I actually like the design in the movies. And the comics usually get it pretty well nailed as well.
Agreed.
So also love that whenever he transports someone, it leaves a huge glyph on the ground. That's great. I love the lack of subtlety behind it too. Like, it's just yep, we were here, and nope, you're not gonna know what this glyph means. Good luck.
I also love how it was broken in the first one and it got rebuilt so fast.
So quickly.
Like, oh, this doesn't actually have like
it's really not a concern.
No,
we're really just fine. We're really okay. My number 4, and this is just for the kicks, okay? I love Volstagg because he's Volstagg the Voluminous. That's outrageous. But he earns that moniker because among his excesses are feasting. The dude loves to eat.
As do we all.
But he just takes it to another level, and he throws his girth around. You know what happens when he throws himself in a battle? He's going belly first on purpose every time. This man will never get a targeting penalty called on him because he's never leading with the head. He's always leading with the body into contact. So it's a hilariously designed character. I love that they actually didn't go comic accurate with him because he looks ridiculous in the comics. So I'm very glad they gave him a bit of a come up with his design in this film. Ray Stevenson has the comedic chops to add a little bit of humor. They just didn't give him enough time. So I wish among many things that Ray would have had more opportunity with our guy.
Look, I love the Warriors 3 on paper. I just have not had a lot of time with them, and the movies didn't do them justice, which I think is a mistake.
It is. It is. So that's my number 4, Volstagg the Voluminous.
My number 4 is Heimdall.
Mhm.
I love Heimdall because here's the other thing we don't talk about.
Yep.
When that dude is allowed to fight, whew, he might be up there. He might be one of the strongest fighters in Asgard as a whole. Like if it's him and Volstagg, I'm probably going to take Heimdall in that fight.
Truly.
And there's very few people where I probably wouldn't take Heimdall over.
Right.
If that makes sense as a sentence.
Yep.
So for that reason, Heimdall at 4.
It's a great spot. Great spot for Heimdall.
Number 3, and
number 3?
this is where I kind of turn into a basic boy. You know, this list is this where it gets a little basic.
That's okay.
At
That's okay.
3, I have Odin.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Odin. What I like about Odin, is this is the grumpy old man that's just in charge. He's got his 2 ravens.
You can resonate with that.
I can. I honestly, in Fear itself, that storyline, this man is sticking to his guns. He's doing what's best for Asgard. And at the same time, he acknowledges that his son is wants to go off and protect Earth.
Right.
They have of course, they have all these fights. And by the way, Odin still kicks Thor's ass. It's not even close. Odin puts him in his place.
Yeah.
However, I do love it when eventually Odin just breaks and he's like, okay, here's the deal. One of these fantastic moments in Fear itself. Tony gives up his sobriety to get Odin's attention. That is his prayer to Odin.
Yep.
He knocks out a bottle of whiskey.
Whoa.
Yes. And then Odin's like, okay, you have my attention. This is your sacrifice. He's like, look, you think we're going to die? Fantastic. Here's the deal. If you think we're going to die and you're going to come and kill everybody on Earth and start over again, at least give us a good fighting shot. And Odin's like, all right, fine. You can have access to the forge. Let's Tony just build a ton of weapons just for the hell of it. And so it just goes to show Odin does deep down, he does care, but he is doing what he thinks is best for his people.
Right.
And at the end of the day, Thor isn't really ready to make that sacrifice yet. He doesn't understand that role of king. And for that reason, I've got 3 Odin.
Yeah. I like that take. I think it's so rare, unfortunately, that the comics, certainly the movies, but the comics especially, get that version of Odin in front of us, right? Because that's what when he's at his best, that's exactly who he should be. Very binary, very black and white, very either or, not a lot of subtlety mixed in there, to the point where at times it's very effective, right? He's all powerful, so he can back up what he says he wants to have happen. But then there's also times where that adherence to the letter of the law is going to get him into, his own law is going to get him into trouble. Because dude, you need to pivot here. We need to pivot. And he's just stubbornly refusing. He's like, no, everybody else move. You get in line with me.
Well, and that's what I think the movies really sucked at, is actually showing how strong he is. Because we always get
the Odin Force. If you've got a force named after you, which also self-named, but still, it still counts. He's right. He's not wrong to name it after himself. It's the most powerful force in the 9 realms.
They do a great job of showing how flip-floppy he gets, in the sense of this is the way that it has to be. Yeah. And then, oh, okay, fine. It's the other way around. Yeah. They do that very well, where he has his moral high grounds per se.
Right.
And even what he did with Hela in the 3rd one, where he's like, oh, I don't actually have a daughter. They don't acknowledge her forever. Right. But he knew. Right. So
totally.
You just don't. You don't get to see Odin hit the battlefield in any of those movies and just go to work. His presence comes down in the first one. Yeah. This first movie, and they're like, okay, we're done fighting. Yep. But I would have loved to see him go at it, because he would kill everybody in his path. Yep. So.
Yeah, truly. No, that's great. All right, my number 3 is Hela. I enjoy her so immensely as a villain because she is so freaking formidable, and she just goes hard. It's just very simple, but hey, I want to conquer. I've got the power. I should be able to conquer. I'm going to go for it. And even when she's presented differently at times in the comics, where she's less, hey, I'm trying to conquer the living realm, being the Lord of Hell is a pretty good come up. And when she's weirdly content being in hell, she's always going, and this is dark, so I'm not saying I necessarily enjoy this, but it's effective. She's going after people's souls, right? She, like, I think of Captain America. She's constantly going after that guy's soul. She's like, hey, your soul looks pretty good. Come on down here to hell. What do you need? Exchange it to me. Give me your soul, and I'll make some of your wildest dreams come true. It's like, that's scary, like genuinely scary power. But she's so formidable as a villain. I really respect it.
She's the goddess of death
Yep.
for a reason. She's good at killing people.
Represents it very, very, very well. Yeah. All right. My number 2 is Loki. There have been so many, I think, weird interpretations of Loki in the comics over the years. I think when they get Loki most right, it's one of two things that are happening. It's either as the just genuine villain who is outsmarting, outclevering Thor. That works. But I also love when we get more of the anti-hero vibe, right? Where he's the reluctant partner of Thor, or like we got in the Loki show, which was so fantastic, this complete development of his character from overlord for the sake of lording over others to overlord for the sake of preserving life, right? Preserving the universe, actually sacrificing and sitting on a particular throne for the sake of the universe. That was such a great show that it just pushes Loki up in my mind as a character in terms of the Asgardians that I have enjoyed seeing on screen or reading in the pages. But yeah, at times I think he just gets messed with a bit too much in the comics. But when they get it, when he's allowed to just be, frankly, like prime Loki, it's really fantastic. So Loki's my number 2.
So this is probably where our lists get very similar, if not the same.
Yes.
My number 2
Which
is
is okay.
also Loki.
Yep.
Arguably one of the best villains that the MCU has ever
No question.
ever developed.
Right?
Going from straight up bad guy in Avengers 1 into saving the entire universes as a whole.
Pretty good.
Hell of an arc.
Pretty good.
I mean, even if we count that out and we go from Thor 1 to Avengers Endgame.
Yep.
Or Avengers Infinity War.
Right.
Where he sacrifices himself legitimately for his brother. That's not something he would have done legitimately up until that point.
Yep.
So the character development for Loki, and again, I think you're right. I think as an anti-hero, he works the best. I like him being a neutral party in the sense of you never know where he's going to end up landing. And I love it when Thor finally just accepts that that's who his brother is and always has a backup plan in case Loki decides to flip sides. Yeah. Because Loki's genuinely just looking out for the best thing for himself.
Right.
Majority of the time.
Truly.
Up until the end of his character arc. So I have Loki at number 2.
It's great.
Because again, he's one of the best Marvel MCU villains we've had so far at the screens. And in the comics, whenever Loki shows up, you know it's going to get interesting. You just do. He was the first Avengers villain in the comics as well.
Yeah.
So
and he works so well in the Avengers movie because he has multiple ways that he can beat you, right? He's got the physical chops. He's got the mental chops. He's got the straight up manipulation ability that turns out kind of handy to have in the back pocket.
Exactly.
Hawkeye knows this.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he tries to
Selvig
get
knows
Iron
this.
Man, and Hulk just tears him up, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Truly incredible. That's good. You're number 1, sir.
My number 1 is Thor.
How can it not be? How can it not be?
Dude, Thor.
And it should be, by the way. Like, is that basic? Yes. But is it also accurate? Also, yes. It just is. It just is.
Look, Thor is one of those characters, like, he's never been, like, the top 10 for me, top 5.
No.
Like, I respect Thor and what he does. But then you go and read, like, Gore the God Butcher, and you go read, him against Malekith. You start to even get more of, okay, this is why he is so well respected.
Yep.
Like, the last time we talked about him, I compared him to Optimus Prime in the sense of he is one of these characters that he's very confident.
Yep.
And he's not like a smack talker per se.
Sure.
But he is telling you exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's not to get into the other guy's head. It is because that is exactly what is going to happen. That's what makes Optimus Prime so incredible as a character.
Right.
It's the same with Thor.
Yeah.
Thor is like, I'm going to put my hammer in your face.
Well-founded confidence.
And you're just going to eat it.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to deal with it. And if you catch it, then, oh, wow, good for you. But
right.
this dude is the
Mhm.
god of the Vikings for a reason. He was built for war.
Yeah.
Every time he shows up, you know he's going to be a menace and a force. There's a reason that he rivals the Hulk when it comes to strength.
Mhm.
Like, by the way, his bloodline, Odin, Killer, Boar, honorable mention to that guy. I would love
Yeah.
to like get a hold of Boar because this dude was also an absolute unit from what little I know.
Yep.
Dude, when Thor hits it, it's a whole like I think the perfect Thor moment in like all of the movies.
Mhm.
It doesn't come from a single Thor movie.
Hmm.
It comes from Infinity War where they are losing the battle. The fight is not going their way. All of a sudden,
Mhm.
bang, Heimdall drops him in with Rocket
Yeah.
and Groot, and he's got Stormbreaker next to him, and you're like,
Mhm.
oh, here we go.
Mhm.
Like, he is
Totally.
a tide turner.
Yeah.
This man is
Yeah.
awesome.
Great point.
So, Thor is my number one.
It's a great number one for all the reasons you just said. He's an absolute powerhouse. Part of what I would love to see explored at some point. We've seen it in comics, thanks to Jason Aaron primarily, and hopefully we see it explored on the movie front. But is the fact that this dude is thousands of years old, and the weight of that was touched on a little bit in Infinity War when he's reminiscing with the Guardians about all that he has seen. Right, I think it's with Rocket in particular. Actually, now that I recall. That is a weightiness that really no other characters that are in that Avengers roster has to deal with, has to reckon with, right? That exceptional longevity that most of us would think, oh, that'd be great to live so long. But then you think of the weariness that inherently comes with that longevity, right? I think there's just so much more of his character to yet be tapped into. One of my favorite moments in comics, and this is actually a Jonathan Hickman move, is when Thor kills a builder in the Infinity storyline, where he throws his hammer away, lets it come through his son, come back, and it just busts a hole right through the builder, coming back into his hand. It's just, there are few characters that can put that bombastic, in a genuine sense, of a moment on a comic book page or in a movie as Thor. Like, he's top dog for a reason. Think of Ragnarok as well, which we'll get into when we get to it. But another great scene where he's coming down, jumping down from the tower, and the silhouette of the lightning coming down. Come on. Like, there are just, he's up there for a reason. When he's at his peak, can't be topped. He's a super fun character.
Oh, that builder's moment is fantastic because they're trying to reason with the other people, and they knew deep down that they weren't going to be able to because that's when he threw it. Is like, okay, we're going to be nice. And then all of a sudden,
we're going to parlay.
He's like, nah, I'm good.
Just kidding.
And they're like, Avengers assemble.
Right.
All right, here we go.
Agreed. Agreed. Assemble away. So it's just the right choice. It just flat out is.